Greetings, PerfBytes listeners. Do you know what time it is? Well, if you're in the e-commerce field, it's time to prepare for seasonal readiness. And with that in mind, I'd like to tell you about a couple of events coming your way. First of all, I'd love to invite you to join myself and my co-host, David Caro, in our webinar titled 5 Must-Dos for Holiday Load Testing. For more information and to register for 5 Must-Dos for Holiday Load Testing, please visit www.sosta.com. And on top of that, stay tuned for PerfBytes episode 64, titled Preparing for Cyber Madness 2015. So please join Mark, James, and myself as we take you on a magical mystery tour through the world of seasonal readiness testing. So don't forget, sign up for the webinar and look out for episode 64. This is the Jackalope signing off. See you soon, fellow PerfByters.
Welcome and greetings, PerfBytes listeners, or as the guys that work in my branch office in Italy taught me to say, saluti e benvenuti ancora una volta scattori e PerfBytes. Not bad. Gotta love those little romance languages. It's your old pal Satan here again, giving a thumbs up to Mark, James, and Howard for doing their best to help everyone understand the pure evil of a failing website infrastructure. You guys are the yin to my yang, and that's saying a lot, considering I'm not really into the whole Chinese metaphysical thing. But Lao Tzu, that was one of the smartest dudes I ever met. Seriously. Anyway, without further delay, it's time for the news of the damned.
Can you dig it?
Oh, there he is. Poor guy. He's just always hurting. Hurting on the inside, you know. Literally, his insides are hurting.
Maybe that's because Lucifer shoved the PerfBytes shoes down the guy's throat.
No, I think I know why this man is screaming.
Really? Was it the HuffPo effect?
No. It actually applies to our first story in News of the Damned.
Really? Welcome to the News of the Damned, everyone.
Mark, did you ever have Legos as a child?
Definitely.
Did you ever walk across your floor in the middle of the night?
Don't just mentioning it makes that hurts.
Yeah.
I had three boys all with Legos. I had that happen.
You get a little one in your heel.
Oh, and the clear ones, those were the worst.
Oh yeah, they hurt better.
I don't know. I think those Duplo blocks were pretty bad too because they were really big and those little tabs were even stuck out even higher.
Oh well. The first story in this week's News of the Damned comes from a gentleman who's a former lawyer who now takes commissions for building Lego items.
Okay. He's a professional Lego builder.
I guess you could say this, professional Lego builder.
What?
So he was spending as much time with Lego as he was Lego sculptures, these commissioned sculptures, as he was at his day job as an attorney. So he sets up a website that takes commissions on, commissioned Lego items.
Yes.
And what do you think happens there, Mark?
He stepped on a Lego in the middle of the night and screamed out.
Well, I think that's a foregone conclusion. That's going to happen no matter what. Evidently, there's so much pent-up demand from people like us who have either grown up with Legos, stepped on Legos, want to see them epoxy together so they never come apart again as Legos.
How about sit on a Lego stack?
Yeah, so his website
Yeah, big
crashed.
time. All right.
Yeah.
So he really sat on a big Lego stack, huh?
Totally. How about this, guys? What if we can point the finger at the marketing department? Now, go with me on this. In the marketing department, because who's really got the money to spend on really creative Lego constructions? It's somebody doing a promotion of their product or their brand or their logo, and they call this guy up and say, will you make us some amazing Lego version of our logo for the company event? And so, again, not only do the marketing department crash their own company's websites, they call up this little guy and crash his website.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have a Lego version of ourselves so we can have our Lego people testing.
Well, we are going to be in Orlando, and at Disney there is a Lego shop.
So, yes.
And they have full-size Lego dragons and stuff like that.
So we could have like a Lego Mark, James, and Howard.
Yeah, with the Lego PerfBytes logo. That would be good.
That would actually be quite impressive.
That is,
if we could pull
this
that
is
off.
crazy. So this guy is he's just a crazy Lego fanatic who's turned it into a profession.
Yeah, I mean, as a frustrated artist,
Yeah.
who has to make a living doing other things, I give him kudos.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. But Legos are really freaking popular. Sorry, Lego people.
Yeah,
I just
so
that.
don't get it for your child because you will be finding it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking of that Seinfeld episode with the Fusilli Jerry that I think Kramer sat on or something like that.
All right, what's the next one here?
The next one involves tickets to the Banksy Bemusement Park.
I love ticket problems.
So, it's in the UK. So, of course, UK tickets, Banksy. So this is £3 tickets to Banksy's Dismaland exhibition, not Disneyland, but Dismaland, and the website crashes. Imagine
What the
that.
heck's Banksy?
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't
Banksy
imagine.
a person?
Yeah, what is Banksy?
That's an excellent question. I can't quite figure it out.
I'm Googling that right now. What
I'm
is Banksy?
bringing it up. I'm bringing it up.
Live Googling during the show.
Ticket and queue misery at Banksy show.
Oh, Banksy is a pseudonymous British graffiti artist, political activist, film director, and painter.
That's right.
His satirical street art and subversive epigrams combine dark humor with graffiti executed in a distinctive stenciling technique.
So he does like a dark theme stuff, kind of,
So I guess
dismal.
this would be maybe a goth or punk Mickey Mouse or something.
Yeah. So it's dismaland.co.uk, and they've done two good things. One, it is just a sitemap. They don't sell tickets, and there's events, Dismaland, such and such. And they've basically switched to a static version of the site.
Which is something that we recommend, something that can be 100% cash.
Check this out. It's just that there's a sitemap, and it used to be live and stuff, and now you can't do much of anything, right? I mean, so they're surviving this without selling more tickets. Now, here's the interesting thing. These guys had already sold, they'd given away a bunch of free tickets, right? And then when they actually switched to sell actual tickets, apparently that's when the site actually went down.
You don't suppose it was cart related in that case, do you?
Well, could be. I don't see much more information here. The BBC's covering it as usual, but again, so sorry for these people in the UK. They just keep being punished like crazy.
Oh, but it gets better.
Oh, what's going on?
Please do tell.
The best way to express this one is the llama has crashed a website.
A llama? Like an animal?
Like a South American llama?
The Dalai Lama.
Oh!
With the flowing robe?
Yes.
The eminence and the grace?
Yeah.
His advice a long time ago was...
he has such a good haircut. It's a little long for my taste, but he's got a good
So
haircut.
this doesn't seem like a guy who would be causing punishment of innocent people around the world crashing a website, but he is a popular guy, right?
He is a popular guy. He was going to Boulder, Colorado.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, they passed. It's legal to smoke marijuana there, so maybe the Dalai Lama is a real hit within the high odds.
That would be the whole state of Colorado, Mark.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the whole.
I thought he went to play some golf. I heard he's a hell of a golfer.
Could be.
Well, Bill Murray caddied for him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then he hit one in the 10,000-foot crevice. And you know what he said to Bill Murray?
What was that?
Gunga Galunga. Gunga Nagunga.
So, James, what more with this event? There's some interesting point load things here. Aside from knowing that it's a specific visit of a day, they actually did a limited number of tickets, right?
Yes, only 2,500 to 3,000 tickets, and that's because the venue, which was at Coors theater in the Boulder, Colorado area
Right.
could only hold that number of people.
Yeah.
But here you have a classical situation that we just saw with His Holiness, the guy with the tall hat coming to Philadelphia, the Pope.
Yeah.
Where you have a limited availability.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of time, limited availability in terms of location for number of seats. And so you have this compelling event for people who want to participate to immediately go and say, hey, this is my once-in-a-lifetime event to meet the Dalai Lama, and I'm going to take advantage of it.
There you go. And, you know, we did get some follow-up on the papal visit here in Philadelphia. I think they went through 2 or 3 rounds of crashing the Septus site, and I think they finally restored everything. But, you know, they basically got over the point load, you know, single window.
So I'm thinking by the end of the year, Howard, I think you were saying an MMA between His Holiness.
Cage match.
Steel cage match.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of think those two are more bridge players than a cage match. You know, so maybe,
I think
maybe you might have a mano a mano bridge match. You know.
But I think
guess they'd
I
have to
bid
play,
two club. You know that.
They'd have to play like honeymoon whist or something versus bridge if there are only 2 of them, unless they each brought a bridge partner.
I think it's an IT grudge match, and you basically say you're given an Nginx web server, a MySQL database, and a 1 gigabit network connection, and whoever can get it to scale the best wins.
I see a lot of incense being involved with both of them on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, can we get tape it so we can like stream it for everyone?
No, because we're not good at streaming infrastructure. I haven't listened to our own episode on streaming performance yet. So
I was just asking.
Anyway, the Lama. The Dalai Lama. Yeah. There we go.
Gunga Galunga.
And you know, maybe we'll be granted, you know, complete and total consciousness.
On
so at least in this News of the Damned, we're fairly even in ticket sales. 1 for the UK, 1 for the US, but both international as they might be.
Yes, and Mark, now we must turn to the political section.
Like the sands through the hourglass, so are the crashes of our lives. Yes.
And in this episode of Politics and Website Crashing, we have two personalities. One is Labour leadership from the UK.
Yes.
Evidently, the Labour Party was seeking to have a vote on who their leader should be, and their website crashed.
So who's
is this like the Sybil of websites or the Sybil of voter registration?
Well, it's voter registration, I guess, specifically for the Labour Party. If you're a member of the party and you want to vote for the party leadership as opposed to voting in the general election, this was the party's website who crashed. And
not much of a party, huh?
Yeah.
I guess not. And you know, this makes the rational argument of, do you really think they're going to be able to produce other websites that are going to scale?
Exactly. And it's the UK. So what could go wrong? It's a website and people have to show up.
I'm sure there are plenty of ticket agent programmers who'd be happy to help them.
Sure. And now this is dozens of supporters of Jeremy Corbyn raised concerns about him being excluded, and that actually had something to do with the crashing, or no?
They extended the time for voting related to this, and I guess maybe there was some load related to Jeremy Corbyn supporters coming online. But this combination of extension of time to vote, maybe everything wasn't. If there was a clock-based system that turned everything off, maybe some things weren't on the clock, so to speak, and got turned off early. But either way, this combination of extension and increased load led to, a puddly, green, burbling goo of server.
Yes, and screaming. Larry's insides are being twisted by Satan himself. I think.
I guess they didn't take into account that they may have had other things going on outside of the window after they extended the voter registration.
And entirely possible. We've talked about what happens in hosting environments involving cloud where there are other neighbors that things might be going on. For instance, they might have had tallying automatically start at the time when the website was supposed to close down, and so you had competing resources or locking on the database. And
Yep. I got to say, we have to get over this idea that everything has to be synchronized, everything has to be ACID compliant for every transaction. These, sign up to vote kind of things, asynchronous message, throw it in the queue, tally it up by the end of the night. Why are we trying to commit this stuff to an actual record somewhere like it needs to be counted right now? Because it doesn't.
Because the press needs to know so they can make their projection.
Fine. So you're on the other side of it, and slowly the number starts to go up as the messages flow through the system asynchronously.
This is perfect use for a Splunk dashboard. You just log it as it gets pushed back asynchronously, and you take your pie chart right off of what's written in the logs.
Yeah, you don't even need to see it. It doesn't need to be in a relational form until maybe some later date, right?
Don't you guys understand we're in the need it now, want it now generation?
We can get it in Splunk in real time, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Howard. Jeez. Yeah, so, but this is not the only political thing we've seen thus far, because recently we have one more to talk about.
The next one is kind of interesting because it's difficult to tell if it's flat-out incompetence, load-related, or simply Donald Trump did something.
How about all three? Can't we have all three Can't we have the A, B, and C?
You can.
Button there?
Maybe it's all three.
above?
I don't know. But what happened is Fox News had a debate recently, or a series of debates, involving the top 275 candidates of the Republican Party running for president in the United States. And as it turns out, Fox News was not able to keep up a streaming instance of these debates.
No, and it was...
Wait a minute. Fox News, doesn't everything they do revolve around streaming?
Yeah.
You would think so. They're satellite broadcasters, so they stream to the satellite, and the satellite streams back down. And you'd think they'd have this thing kind of put together.
Yeah.
But reading an article, Howard, that you forwarded to me, it really seems like they had the B or the C or the Z team working this night.
Yeah. Maybe they got a little complacent and a little bit like, we know how to do this, overconfident.
Someone even issued a takedown order to YouTube for a copyright violation of their own copyrighted material.
Of their own copyrighted material.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And so it was multiple feeds and going different places to try to get the feed, and then another division within Fox actually exercised the copyright on their own.
I know it.
The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and both hands have no communication with the brain. I think that's the problem.
And you know what the best part about all this? Didn't they redirect some traffic to the UK server so people could watch it?
I guess Sky News is the Fox affiliate in the UK, and it was streaming quite well when they were having problems here in the US operations.
Yeah.
And it was through that Sky News feed on YouTube that Fox News issued the takedown request.
Yeah.
So the one avenue that was remaining that was operating very cleanly and efficiently gets the takedown request from a sister company, both owned by Rupert Murdoch.
There you go. Nice show, guys. That was really good going. And it was torture as many as you can, and even though there was a slight glimmer of hope that somebody could continue watching, you swiped it away from them and punched them in the face with a legal copyright violation.
And you look at this, it's like, who have you got working? Is it Mo, Larry, and Curly, or did Curly take the night off, so you brought in Shemp or Curly Joe?
No, it was actually along that vein. It was Wee Fleece.
There you go.
That's the lawyer team on the Three Stooges. Wee Fleece.
We don't know what we're doing. That's amazing.
And this actually this is like one of my favorite expressions. Actually applies to this. Ready, fire, aim.
Thank you, Sarge.
Clearly, there was no game day event before this to allow them to trial run all of their different pushes to the different providers, be it Akamai or YouTube or whoever else. And in contrast to this, I was watching a great feed from the Pebble Beach Concord Elegance this last weekend coming through YouTube. And it's something we should do at a future event, I think.
That would be cool.
If you watch the debate, one way they could have done a game day trial was just like low test Saturday Night Live, because that's kind of like what the debate was, Saturday Night Live skit.
That's exactly right. So go back and listen to episode on streaming performance, Fox guys. We'll give a little shout out to our supporting sponsor, Sosta, for their support of the show. And what else? Go to the PerfBytes listener survey. That's always surveys at perfbytes.com.
Please do. We need to have a statistically valid sample set before we can make absolute decisions.
Yep.
And so we want to run a performance test for longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah, that'll be great. And a shout out to the folks that have actually contacted us about some recent outages. You can do that. You can actually contact us at ask@perfbytes.com. And you can even shoot us a voicemail. If you want to leave us a voicemail at 77-LOAD, that's 775-623-7373. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll talk confidentially about what happened when your website crashed, and it sounds like that guy in the background.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, all. Have a great one.
Ciao.
Arrivederci.
Grasshopper.
Ha 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 ha!